All right, so let's do this unboxing because I bought this from a zero feedback seller. Now, I never buy anything from zero feedback sellers, and so I need this for documentary purposes. Let's do this in fast motion and make sure I didn't get, I don't know, a piece of fuzz. Oh, my God. I'm breathing a sigh of relief. I thought I was going to get scammed. And all right, so this is like, I always tell you guys, never buy from zero feedback sellers because you might get scammed. There's a lot of scam artists out there. So we have a Pope Pius X relic. And what else is new? And you might say, but you have like 12 or 13 of those already. And I'm like, yeah, but you can never have enough. And the weird part is, this is the main relic I always usually find is Pope Pius X. I don't know. By the way, you're looking at my ceiling chandelier. How do we make this so that we don't see that? I don't know, but we're going to have to turn my flash on. But there we go. Look at this. This is in actually really great condition. Okay, the flash is now on so we can see this better. Now, they say generally a saint will come into your life. A lot of times, it's like there's certain saints that'll pop up in your life. Pope Pius X is one of them. And so this is a first-class holy relic of Pope Pius X, who was pope from 1903 to 1914. He battled modernism. And you might say, what is modernism? It's what we consider today like progressivism and liberalism. And so he did not find modernism very amusing because they were trying to change. Like, there was modernists. Like, actually, people such as Darwin and all the major philosophers were speaking about God and stuff like that. And it turned out that once they started having this debate going on, then people started talking about evolution and all this other crap. And they wanted to change the rules of the church. So they wanted to change the way things were that were traditional in the church. And Pope Pius battled it. He battled it so hard that he even put spies in the Catholic Church to find out who the modernist was. Now, if you were found out to be a modernist priest or a modernist bishop or whatever in the church, and you're a modernist or what we call today a progressive liberal, you would end up being excommunicated, which is quite interesting. So let's zoom in here and let's check this out. Oh yeah, this is definitely a first-class relic, most likely ex corpore or ex, I forgot what the other one was, but it looks like a piece of flesh. I'm going to get my loop in a moment and check into this. But this one was probably, now he was canonized, I believe, in 1954. So by Pope Pius XII, and we're going to look at a canonization ceremony. I'm going to actually try not to get copyrighted on that, but let's see if it has the actual, let's flip it over. Sometimes these will have a stamp. They need to have a stamp, by the way. They would come with paperwork. 9 times out of 10, the document is gone. That's guaranteeing this is a true relic, but I collect enough relics to know that this one's real. But I'm going to look for the wax stamp on the back. They really do need this wax stamp. Let's try to pull the backing off. Yes. Okay. I am so relieved right now. Okay, this is 100% real, boys and girls. Now, the seller did not say it had a wax stamp in it. Oh, yeah, we can see, whoops. This is the correct seal it should have. And you can see it says Pi, P-I-I. I don't know, let's get in there close. Right there, Pi X, P-P, meaning Pope. Yep, it has his seal. This is Pope Pius' seal right there. And this is real. And you can tell, let's go ahead and take a look at this. You see how the strings were not cut? Let's take a look at that. See, the strings were not cut. We have a real relic. Now, people fake these stamps. You can generally tell. But if you're not a relic collector, you can be easily tricked into buying a fake. And they'll use red candle wax and they'll get a stamp. It'll look funny. It'll be too red. You see the blackened color? This is showing me patina. Yes, we got a real one right here. But you can see the writing on this. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. That is really, really cool, boys and girls. All right, so we discover we have the Postula General stamp on the back. This is real. This is authentic. Sadly, there's a lot that are not. So be careful. Now, I took a chance on this because the price was right. Okay, they had a buy it now of $125, and nobody was taking the bait because they were too afraid because it was a zero feedback seller. And if it's a zero feedback seller, you're taking a high risk. When all they wrote was St. Pope Pius X relic and one photo. It was just one photo, just like this, with no picture of the stamps or the wax or the seal. And I took a chance on it, and I actually scored because I'll show you what these sell for. Okay, I just got my loop. Too bad I can't show you guys with the loop. But yes, this is the flesh, I believe, the flesh or the skin. So it is a first-class relic. Let's try to zoom in. You'll see a brown blob in the center, but my camera does not focus very well. Let's try to aim it at a certain, yeah, I'm going to pull back. Hold on a moment. And I collected enough of these to know that this is definitely flesh. Let's try it. Let's try. Can we get a focus on this? And it's not going to happen. My camera is terrible on close-ups. Let's try to get in there. Oh, you guys can see it probably better this way. All right, so now it's in its reliquary. If you collect, well, you're really not supposed to, it's really not, you're not supposed to buy or sell relics, especially first and second class ones, but put it in a reliquary. You can get these on Amazon or on Etsy, on eBay. You can get these from Catholic supply stores. You really need to sanctify your relic and make sure that it's kept in really good shape. And these actually have a glass window that keeps this sealed in there, and so bad things can't happen to it. All right, so what do we have here? We have a first-class relic. I turned this into a third-class relic with this, and these are really fun to make. I take a piece of cloth, and I attach it to the holy card of whatever saint I have, and then I turn it into a third-class relic by placing flowers inside a prayer card. Really cool. What is the difference between a first, a second, and a third class relic? Well, the difference is a first class relic is of the body of the saint, whether it be a bone, a piece of skin, a piece of hair, their toenail, fingernail. You get the gist of it. Second class is something they touched in life or actually after death. So it could be their chalice, their pen that they wrote with, the coffin they were buried in, the ashes, the actual clothing that they wore, the shoes, the hat, that's the habit. And third class is when you take an object, whether it be a rosary or a crucifix or a prayer card, and touch it to the first class relic. Now it becomes a third class relic. So I make these for almost all of my holy relics in my collection. Look how pretty that is. You can take wildflowers and laminate it with a prayer card, stick a piece of fabric in there that was touched to the first class relic. And I also mark that I touched it to first class relics. There you go. Boom. And then what I do is, I know this is really bizarre and crazy. I have it as a cover. I actually cover my relics. And it's like covering a bird. You know when you have a parakeet, at night you cover your bird and it goes to sleep? Well, there we go. I cover it so that the UV rays from the sun does not destroy the writing on the relic. So we know which relic, because I have over 30 something of these relics. So we know which relic is in each chalice or reliquary. All right, so let's go ahead and check out what do these sell for and why I got so lucky with this seller who's going to get 5-star feedback from me. So as you can see, I have a lot of first class relics in my collection. And I do cover them when I get a chance. I make holy relic third class relic cards for them, and I cover the chalices. This is Saint Therese, by the way. I cover them just to protect the UV light from fading out the labels with their names on it. Oh, we just made a Saint Newman or Neumann one. It's back here, and yeah, because I got two. As you can tell, I have many of these, and I just have them hanging from my relics. I have to make many more. Pope Pius is like really popular in my collection. Look how many Pope Pius relics we have. I mean, look, here's another one right there. Yeah, there's another one here. He keeps ending up in my life. I do not know why. And here's today's relic. Actually, I placed this right here. And you can see it hanging from the reliquary. And then when we move this aside, we can see the relic that we got today. There we go. Very cool. What do these sell for? It's insane, boys and girls. Absolutely insane. Okay, so these are like first class ones are not cheap. We have, here we go, $495. We have this one is probably, like, it depends. Some of them are in really bad shape, but this one actually is a really good buy at $359.85. Yeah, that one's in good shape. I would suggest you buy this one. That's a good buy. Yep, it comes from America, and it has more than one feedback, thankfully. And you'll see a lot of them for sale on the internet, especially from the Russian Icon store. The Russian Icon store, oh my goodness, boys and girls, they sell these for about $500 to $1,000 a piece. And every single time I click on one of the relics of St. Pius, it's sold. They actually sell them out really, really fast. And so I would guesstimate that these sell for between, here's another one, by the way, these sell for between about $500 retail, $500 to about $800, generally, especially without the document. Here we go. First class, and every single one of their things is sold. But it would have came with one of these. I'll show you what the document looks like. Ex carne, that's the other one I was trying to tell you. It's ex corpore or ex carne, and this is, I believe, the skin, ex carne, or the flesh. Really quite cool. And it would have came with something like this from the postulator, and unfortunately 9 times out of 10 these go missing. And here we go. So this is the ad on the Russian Icon store. 1954, generally, these were actually the year that he was actually canonized. So right around the 1950s, these little relics were actually put together, and he's showing close-up of the ex carne. And so some of the prices of these are outrageous on their site. $675, $575, again $575. This one $700, boys and girls. Here's another one, $600. So as you can see, I was very nervous about paying $125 for mine, but I ended up scoring, and I'm so glad. Now, am I going to sell it? The answer is no. You cannot sell these. Actually, you can sell these, but you can go to a fiery hell, and nobody wants to go to a fiery hell. So how do people get away with selling these? They basically sell that they're saying they're selling the Thecca, and you're getting the relic for free for $675. That's how you avoid hell and fire and brimstone, boys and girls. Now, I was going to show you a video of the coronation in 1954 of St. Pope Pius X, but unfortunately, PATH, the British PATHE archives, has made it so that they copyright. You have to pay them to actually show one of their videos that they bought. By the way, they buy up thousands of archives of famous films, like they buy up all the archives of films, of old films of things from the past. And if you if you dare actually, like, I don't know, if I screen capture it and show you the video, they're going to come after me, and I don't need that crap. So we're going to look at the treasures of the church instead. We're going to look at a quick video of a church that had several, if not hundreds, of the relics for people to actually see in person.
Nearly 200 dioceses around the world, but he does not travel alone. Father Carlos Martins travels with the relics of more than 150 saints. It's part of an initiative called Treasures of the Church, and it's a unique way of bringing healing and help to the faithful. And joining me now is Father Carlos Martins, Director of Treasures of the Church. Father, welcome. So great to see you. Can you tell us a little bit more about the Treasures of the Church and how it began?
Sure, yeah. So Treasures of the Church is it's a healing and evangelization ministry whereby I use the relics of the saints to give people an experience of the living God. And what I mean by that is there are healings at every exposition. Some of them are very dramatic. There can be tumors that disappear on sight. People who have some disability that they've carried their whole lives, deafness, blindness, those have disappeared at expositions. This ministry began in the latter half of the 1990s. I'm a convert from atheism myself. I had an experience with relics shortly after that. I wanted to give everybody that experience.
That's very incredible. One thing I understand is that relics are particularly venerated in the Orthodox Church and the Eastern Rite of the Catholic Church. Do you think enough attention is paid to the relics in the Latin Rite?
Well, I mean, in a sense, yes and no. At every liturgy, we pay relics reverence. The reason why the priest venerates, why he kisses the altar at the start and at the end of Mass, is because it is customary to place saints' relics inside every church altar. And so when he offers that act of reverence, what he is doing is he is greeting the saints where they are present. But in the general consciousness, for the last 60 years or so, relics have been relegated to the place of those things that seem superfluous or unimportant. But they are at the heart of the church's theology, and they are proof, if you will, of the truth of the faith, because the saints are incarnate within Christ. And the fact that that our Lord continues to work the miraculous in the presence of their relics, the fact that demons find them abhorrent, and the fact that the mere presence of a relic is exorcistic to a demon, is proof of the words of our Lord, is proof of the truth of the faith, but in fact of his words, that greater works than what I do, you will do.
And Father, if you don't mind, can you describe to us, some of the relics that you have and which ones in particular stand out to you?
Sure. Well, I mean, they're all very important because they're all members of the body of Christ, to put it into biblical language. The current exhibit consists of 165 relics in this Vatican-sponsored exhibit. And it includes saints from every one of the church's periods. Saints from New Testament times, such as all of the apostles, Mary Magdalene, the church fathers, saints from the early Middle Ages, the latter Middle Ages, the Renaissance of the church, Age of the Enlightenment, if you will, and including some of the most modern canonized and beatified persons. So, for example, the exposition includes a recently acquired relic of Blessed Carlo Acutis, provided by his mother.
And before I let you go, Father, if people would like more information, where can they find that, and where can they go to see the relics?
Sure. So more information can be found on the website, treasuresofthechurch.com. Currently, the ministry is in Washington, D.C. From here, it will move on to Virginia, the Carolinas, and then the southern states.
Wow. So Treasures of the Church, they have an ongoing exhibition of over 160 something relics. Wow. Okay. And what did we learn, boys and girls? Demons do not like that. So I feel like extremely protected. Now, I wanted to actually put these on display to be venerated by the public myself. And I contacted a couple of Catholic churches, and I've gotten a reply from two of them. One, the priest is on vacation till the end of this month, unfortunately, and will be touching base with me when he comes back. The other one, I have to meet with the bishop in November to get all of these properly inspected, to make sure that these are true holy relics of the saints, which I know they are, but you had to get the okay by the bishop in order for that to happen. These do not have certificates. These are known as orphans. Orphan relics cannot be venerated in public without the approval of a higher up in the church. So I'm sure he'll realize when I show him that these are real, with the wax seals that are real, he will actually issue these certificates of documentation proof that these are real holy relics. Here's our one we got today. And then I can share these with other people. Now, I'm not going to donate them to the church, but I will put them on loan for free. Will not charge anybody 2 nickels. If you are in the New York area, and possibly like the Long Island area, maybe Queens, Nassau, I will probably be able to have these actually, you can actually meet with me, and I could bring a relic for you to touch and to see, unless you're not a cat burglar, and maybe we can do something. But I feel that these need to actually be enjoyed by other people, although I will not donate them because I did pay a lot of money for my collection. I will share them with other people as well. So thanks for watching. See you guys all soon. And thankfully, this one, actually 0 feedback seller, came through for me. This is the real deal. We did not get a fake, boys and girls. And I'm very, very, very delighted to have it in my collection. See you on the next one. By the way, one's coming from Canada. Not going to tell you which saint is coming, but she's coming soon, probably in the next couple of days, all the way from Canada. Can you guess who it may be? I don't know. Write in the comments below. It's a female saint. Who do you think is coming from Canada?